In today's video of Hit Power, we'll be going over the M1A1 Thompson and as well as the M1 Thompson. Both of these weapons are in the Battle of Tunisia campaign and as well as in the Invasion of Normandy campaign. So let's start out with a little bit of history about the Thompson. The Thompson was created by a man named John T. Thompson back in 1918. It was just a little bit too late for World War I, but in 1920 the Thompson saw a lot of service within some of America's top criminals, but then in World War II it was finally introduced to the military. And with the Thompson, many variants were made, but in this video we'll be covering the M1 and the M1A1. And the way to look at all these variants of the Thompson is you go from the highest quality Thompson, which were very expensive, to some of the later Thompsons, which started to get very, very budget friendly. And then they still couldn't even get the Thompson to where they liked it money-wise, so we got guns like the M3 Grease Gun. The M1A1 Thompson in Enlisted is a pretty high tier weapon, being level 14 in Tunisia and level 29 in Normandy to get this weapon. This is the earliest variant of the Thompson you can unlock, and also being kind of the worst stats wise. The M1A1 Thompson is, in my opinion, one of the most average SMGs in the game. The gun has a ton of recoil, the mag size isn't the largest, and I'm personally not a fan of the iron sight. So for the base model M1A1 Thompson, you will have 30 vertical recoil and 8 horizontal recoil. The muzzle velocity of 45 caliber in-game is the lowest in-game, being 265 meters a second, which means majority of the guns, if you fire at the same time as them, will always hit you first. As well, this gun has a lower fire rate compared to the M1 Thompson at 550 to 600 RPM. The standard mag size for the M1A1 Thompson is a 30 round mag, with each bullet doing 6.8 hit power at 10 meters. So in total you can do 204 hit power per mag, which means you can down a total of 20 troops per mag, since each troop can receive 10 hit power before they are down, without including vitality. Reload for the gun is one of the worst in the game, being at 3 seconds. Even like the drum mag PPD-40 can beat out this weapon or either is on par with it. A 5-star M1A1 Thompson changes the rate of fire to 630 to 690 rounds per minute. You get a slight reduction in reload at 2.7 seconds and a reduction in recoil, being 27 vertical recoil and 7 horizontal recoil. The hit power of the gun goes to 8.2 at 10 meters, which means your total hit power per mag is 246, which means you can down 24 troops while shooting them in the chest. Both of the Thompsons come out at 120 rounds, and with the 6.8 hit power, you can get a total of 81 kills, and with the 8.2 hit power, you can get a total of 98 troops with your total ammo loadout without ammo bags. Onto the M1 Thompson. The M1 Thompson was a version of the Thompson made before the M1A1, which means it has a slightly better stats compared to it because it was made out of better materials, and as well as it wasn't as cheap. It fires the same bullet as the M1A1, so nothing about hit power has changed, but what is different with this gun is the rate of fire and the iron sights, and the recoil, but not by much. The biggest change is the rate of fire, being 700 to 800 with a 3-star weapon, and 800 to 920 rounds per minute on a 6-star weapon. The recoil is only affected on the horizontal side, so -1 for 3-star and 6-star. So what are my thoughts on the Thompson? I personally think this is going to make a lot of Americans mad that really want this weapon and really enjoy and love this weapon. But I personally think it's one of the worst SMGs in the game. It has a lot of recoil. It has standard size of mag. The muzzle velocity is a really kicker on this thing. It lacks any sort of range engagements. And for me, I feel like I'm going to pick, the M1A1 over the M1 just because I feel like ammo is going to be a really, really godsend with this weapon, because it seems like the more rate of fire you have, the more recoil you're going to have, the more you're most likely going to miss. So I think the M1A1, in my opinion, is just better. I think I like the iron sights a little bit better on that one as well. And I think the best way to use the Thompson is to use it as a burst fire SMG. So shoot about 4 to 5 bullets, let the recoil settle back down, and shoot again. Unless you're within point blank range, if you're in point blank range, you can hit fire the enemy or as well just go full auto and hopefully kill them. But the biggest advantage over the MP40 with the Thompson is the rate of fire, which means you will have a faster time to kill and as well as the damage. So I hope everyone enjoys this video. Hope everyone enjoys the Thompson if you have it right now, and use this video as a way to see if you want to play with the Thompson. I personally think it's a very cool weapon, and I will see you guys in the next video.